My name is Michael Pashut and I'm the proud owner of Change Cars and the host of the TV show All Things Motoring. But I'm even prouder today to say that I work with Alan Rosenmeyer from Motor Matters, better known as the man with a hat. If you're looking for the best reviews on all new vehicles, Motor Matters. If you're looking for the best deals on new or used cars, changecars.co.za, where every car is sold by a 5-star rated manufacturer approved dealer.
Over the past few months, we've had a number of the Isuzu D-Max buckies on test. You should have seen test reviews. Well, like its opposition, what Isuzu have done is they've got the bucky-based SUV. Big 7-seater. It's quite a brute, in fact. Well, the bucky is big, so the SUV has to be big. This is the Isuzu MUX. Now, this is the family version, obviously. You don't have to carry big loads. You want the space, you want seating for up to 7. This is the way you go, isn't it? I'm not going to spend too much time telling you about the engine and gearbox, etc., because, of course, we've had them with the D-Maxes. This one is powered by the 3-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel, giving you 140 kilowatts, 450 newton meters. You get a 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive versions. This is the LSE 4x4. I'm going to make a lot on that point for you. You've obviously got switchable 4x4, high range, low range, and diff locks, etc. You'll see that when we're inside. But as I said, it's a handsome looking beast. You come around to the side over here, and you've got pretty ordinary looking, I've got to say, 18-inch alloy wheels, but they certainly do the job. And you've got a pretty substantial, nice running board over here. I haven't gone 4x4ing in this, but I have, as you can see, taken it on a bit of dirt, a bit of dust, and it's picked it up. So apologies if anybody's going to say there's dust on the vehicle. Now, it's long. You can see how long it is. You can see by the width of the rear door, which obviously is going to help you for access to rear seats and to the rearmost seats when you want to go to them. So let's just take a look at the space in the middle row for now. And let me jump in, as I like to do, and show you. I do like this feature here, which is the grab handle there to get yourself in. Well, headroom's pretty good. Driver's seat set for me, but you'll see the passenger seat is set slightly further back even. I'm not complaining about legroom. And what I do like is the fact that you have got 2 USBs for the rear seats, although you don't have air controls for the rear seats. So it's a kind of give and take situation, isn't it? But I'm not going to complain. And on LSE spec, you do get full leather trim. Okay, happy with that as well. Let's just jump out again, come round, and you've got over here the smoked effect tail lights, which note are split into the rear panel and into the tailgate. On this model, you do have the facility of pressing button and the rear hatch opens. An interesting thing I've just noticed while setting the vehicle up for the video is, take a look underneath over here. You'll see the rear parcel shelf is one of those that if you're going to want to remove it, leave it at home. Otherwise it's going to be in your way. You do have an issue with the extra fold-up seats from the rear, etc. if you're going to. Now, just for convenience for videoing, you'll see I've got one of these seats up and one down, just to show you how it works. But let me do, of course, the Allen test of the boot. It is pretty high up, as you can see, so I've got to get myself up. Now, quite simply, just imagine that seat up on that side. Ooh, as a 7-seater, it's a half Allen boot. There is no doubt whatsoever. It's not even a half Allen boot. But as a 5-seater, it's at least a 3 Allen boot. At least. Maybe I've even a touch more. But just showing you the different configurations. And on this model, if you want to use the extra seats, it's a matter of just pulling on that strap over there to pull them up or drop them. Nice and simple, nice and easy. No complaints or problems there. Press button, close. And that shows you pretty much the exterior of the vehicle. So let's take a look. One of the things I want to show you is the access and the space for the rearmost seats. And then of course we'll look at it on the road and the interior. Right, like all these vehicles, how do you access those rearmost seats? Well, on the MUX it's actually quite nice. You flip that lever, it does that, and it flips all the way there. And then it's quite simple. In, and in again. Hello, I'm right in the back. So let's see. Headroom with my hat on. Hey, I can get there. No problem. Legroom, let's just slide across over here and do it that way. Legroom's also not bad at all. I must tell you that as these 7-seaters go, this is reasonable space. You've also got a cup holder on each side and a little storage compartment for each side as well. And I've got to just correct something I've just noticed. I complained about air vent controls and air vents for the rear. Well, you've got vents in the roof for both middle and rearmost rows, and guess what? There's your control. I didn't even see it. Okay, I'll correct myself. On the freeway out in the country, the MUX is interesting because if I consider that it's based on the D-Max Bucky, which I found a little bit bouncy with the rear end, obviously without a load on it, I'm assuming that the extra weight of the bodywork and the extra seats at the back actually settle it a lot better than its MUX brother. So it does make for it to be a lot more comfortable than the Bucky version, which I'm very glad to report, I've got to tell you. That 3-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel engine, well, it's agricultural at startup, and when it's cold, we know that. It's old tech, let's call it that. But I must tell you, I'm cruising along at the national speed limit right now on an open road out in the countryside, and it's very smooth, very comfortable, and absolutely no complaints about it. There's of course tons of space behind me. It's a 7-seater, it's a full-on 7-seater, and in LSE spec. It's not the Onyx top level, but you've got leather, you've got everything you want, and all the spec you can possibly want. I'll go into a lot more detail a bit later on in the video as to which model in the range I would honestly recommend to you. Between, you get LS, LSE and Onyx, and obviously prices are going to vary as you go up the range, but I definitely would personally want the 3-litre engine as opposed to the 1.9 option, which is now available in the range as well. Starting off behind the wheel as we always do, well, the instrumentation is basic, but really, do you need more? But the critical numbers I want to show you is we've done 700 Ks on this test already, 8.4 litres per 100. I think that's pretty good, and that's overall usage. I think other owners could achieve figures like this, so that I'm very, very impressed by. And what is also very impressive is it's telling me there's still 350 litres left in the tank. Wow. Your steering wheel, well, you've got your controls for cruise control over there, you've got your other more basic controls over there, and you've got teeny little paddles for the auto gearbox up down, if you want to use them. I don't know, I don't use them, but maybe you would want to. Other than that, of course, you've got all your controls on the door over here, as you would normally expect, and I have got electric adjustment for my driver's seat. So these are all things, again, I do want. Auto on headlights. Oh, just tell you that one too. So those are the kind of features you can expect on LSE spec. Looking across, you've got a nice size center screen, but it is fairly basic. Android Auto works well, and that's all I care about these days. Connected nice and quickly, nice and seamlessly. Interesting the fact, because you've got 2 USBs in the back, that you've only got one up front. And you do have a 12-volt socket next to it. So I may have expected a second USB up front, but maybe I'm asking a lot. You've got a space here for your cell phone, but no inductive charging, so no wireless Android, etc., etc. But again, do you need these things? Well, only you can decide. You come to the gear lever. I've mentioned it's a good old-fashioned 6-speed auto torque converter. But what of course you've got is on the side over here you've got hill descent control, and over here you've got your rotary knob, of course, for your 2 high, 4 low, diff lock and terrain, etc. So they're all there, and you've got an electronic parking brake. All the features you want. I'm not saying this vehicle is not capable off-road. I just didn't do proper off-roading in it. You've also got just generally pretty hard plastics all round, but you've got to then remember the bucky origins of this vehicle. But it's got the space. The legendary toughness of Isuzu, we're not even going to go there. I've mentioned that so many times with the D-Maxes recently as well. So, of course, it comes down to money. What's the pricing here? And this is where I've got to tell you, I find the Isuzu range quite interesting, because they've got LS, LSE, and even Onyx at the top of the range. Now this one, I told you, is the LSE 4x4, 927,000 Rand. You do get the Onyx, which will just give you a little bit more spec, gives you some active safety, etc. at 960. Very, very small price difference. Or you can drop down to an LS, and in both LSE and LS you can go about 4x2 as well. And I must tell you, personal opinion, my pick of the range right now would be an LS 4x2. Now why do I say that? You're going to ask me. Well, from 927 you drop all the way down to 800,000. And interestingly, Isuzu add 85,000 Rand approximately to go from 4x2 to 4x4. I've said so many times, so many vehicles sold in South Africa that have full-on proper 4x4, it's never ever used. 4x2 with the ground clearance, with the diff lock, etc. is more than you'll ever need. Would you pay 85,000 Rand for something you don't need? I know where I would go. They have even added an LS with the 1.9 litre engine to the range recently at 710,000 approximately. So you could even go there. You get all the space, all the accommodation, a lot of the luxury at a lot less money. The choice is obviously yours. And you know there are other brands that give you similar vehicles and similar accommodation. But if you're an Isuzu fan, I know where I put my money. Let me simply put it that way. For Motor Matters, I'm Eleanor. See you next time.